Kia ora in the headlines. Leaked papers on the Trans-Pacific Partnership trade deal have armed its opponents with more ammunition. Despite the government's assurances that there are protections for regulatory sovereignty and public health and environmental issues, Professor Jane KELSEY says the documents suggest otherwise.
Those protections are anything but watertight, and foreign companies are likely to use the agreements partly as a threat to try and stop the government regulating and subsequently to challenge regulations if they introduce them.
The Green Party has joined New Zealand First in demanding that we withdraw from the free trade talks, but Jane KELSEY remarks that the TPP is the country's only chance to have a free trade agreement with the US. The official cash rate remains unchanged at 2.5%. Reserve Bank Governor Allan Lee announced that New Zealand's economic outlook has weakened slightly in the past 3 months due to weaker than expected trade figures as well as political and economic stresses in Europe, and that turmoil may continue to affect New Zealand for some time. While the Eurozone crisis isn't paralysing local business, ANZ Chief Economist Cameron BAGRIE told me that the Reserve Bank is right to be cautious.
Of course, there's a lot of governments out there that want to keep spending more than what they're earning. Of course, society likes that story. Well, that's an unsustainable story.
Social Development Minister Paula Bennett is rolling 7 employment programs into one called Job Streams. Up to $21,000 is to be available in subsidies to employers who are willing to take a risk on young people, beneficiaries, solo parents, or those with a criminal background. New Zealand has renewed its campaign to become a United Nations Security Council member. Foreign Affairs Minister Murray McCully said it's important we have a say as the Council contends with serious challenges to regional and international stability.
New Zealand, as a condition of its bid to join the Security Council, isn't prepared to trade either money or votes to get there.
Greenpeace activists are unrepentant about their protest on an oil ship at Port Taranaki. The group of 8 pleaded guilty to unlawfully boarding the Noble Discoverer in February. Protester and actress Lucy Lawless believes they've helped start a great movement against oil drilling in the Arctic.
I stand by what we did and our need to do it. Peaceful action is the only way forward, a clean, green earth.
Salvage operations on board the Rena have come to an end a month ahead of schedule. Aside from 18 inaccessible containers in the bow section, all the containers have now been removed. The company responsible for retrieving lost containers and removing debris which comes ashore will now monitor the wreck and patrol the exclusion zone. Officials investigating the fatal Doha shopping mall fire have found it was sparked by faulty electrical wiring in a fluorescent light. The Villaggio Mall fire began in a sporting goods store next to the childcare centre, which lost 4 teachers and 13 children, including New Zealand triplets Lily, Jackson and Wilshire Weeks. Syrian media is reporting that government forces have regained control of al-Haffeh from rebels. Peacekeepers say Syria is now in civil war, even as claims fly between Russia and the US that the other is supplying arms to opposing sides in the conflict. Meanwhile, France is urging the UN Security Council to make Kofi Annan's peace plan obligatory and establish border sanctuaries for refugees. Finally, a sophisticated telescope that hunts for black holes using X-ray vision has been launched into space. The New Star orbiting telescope was lifted into the skies by an aircraft, but carried a rocket on its underbelly that later launched the satellite itself, using less fuel to boost it away from Earth's gravitational pull. But I bet it still can't find my car keys. Those are the headlines from the RBG News Centre. Mori ora.